It started with a simple notification, but then my doorbell camera showed me something that shouldn't exist. Something watching, something waiting, and in that moment I realized I wasn't just being watched. I was being hunted right inside my own home. It was almost 2 a.m. when it happened, the kind of hour where even the streetlights look tired. I was half asleep on the couch, scrolling through my phone, trying to convince myself I didn't have to get up early the next morning. My house was dark, just the soft blue light from the TV flickering across the walls. My dog, Milo, was curled up at my feet, knocked out cold. He's the type who barks at everything, the mailman, the wind, sometimes even his own shadow. But that night, not a sound, not even a twitch. Then my phone buzzed. A notification slid across the screen. Motion detected at your front door. I frowned. At 2 a.m.? Nobody visits at 2 a.m. unless something's wrong. Or something's really wrong. I sat up, rubbed my eyes, and tapped on the app. The live cam opened, just the usual view of my porch. The steps, the railing, the faint glow from the streetlight across the road. Nothing there. But the notification wouldn't have popped up for no reason. Those cameras aren't perfect, but they don't hallucinate. I scrubbed the footage back a few seconds. That's when my stomach tightened. At the edge of the frame, something flashed. Not a person, not an animal, more like a shape. A movement too quick to make sense of. It slid across the bottom of the screen like a blur. I leaned closer, increased the brightness. Turned the volume up even though there was no sound. The blur wasn't just moving, it was gliding. No footsteps, no bouncing, no weight shifting. Just smooth, unnatural movement. And here's the part that messed with my head. My porch light, which is motion activated, didn't turn on. It turns on if a moth flies too close. But whatever this was, it didn't trigger it. A chill crawled up my arms. I replayed it again, frame by frame. At the 7th frame, the blur sharpened, just enough to see something that looked like a hand. But the fingers were wrong. Too long, too thin, and it wasn't reaching toward the camera. It was reaching away, like it was dragging itself along the ground or gripping something I couldn't see. Something inside me whispered, "Don't zoom in." But of course I did. And zooming in didn't help. It made everything worse. Because behind that hand, that too long, too thin hand, was the faint outline of a face. Not human, not animal. Something in between. Pale, smooth, almost like it didn't have features, just the suggestion of them. Like someone started drawing a face and then erased half of it. I froze. My thumb hovered over the screen. Even Milo lifted his head, ears perked, staring at the door like he sensed something I didn't. The movement in the video slowed, almost like the creature, or whatever it was, paused. Its head turned, facing the camera. And for a split second, I swear, its mouth, or the shape of a mouth, moved. Like it whispered something. The audio was silent, but my brain filled in the emptiness with something I can't shake. "I know you see me." Ridiculous, right? Some late-night paranoia, some half-dream thought. But I couldn't shake it. I paused the video, took a screenshot, zoomed in again, and that's when I noticed something I should have seen from the beginning. The time stamp. My camera caught the motion at 1:59 a.m., but the clip was labeled 2:03 a.m. Like something interfered, or something was standing on my porch for 4 minutes without moving, and my camera only recorded 12 seconds of it. No way. There's just no way. I rewound again, checked my Wi-Fi logs, checked my settings. Everything was fine. Nothing glitched. So why did 4 minutes just vanish? My heartbeat was loud enough I could hear it in my ears. I walked toward the front window, pulled back the curtain just a little. The street was empty. Quiet. Still. But the air felt heavy, like someone was standing just out of sight. I backed away from the window, locked the door, double-locked it, turned on every light in the house. Milo paced back and forth, whining, tail tucked, and he never does that unless he senses something real. I went back to my phone, hit download clip, the app froze, screen turned black, then a message popped up. Video unavailable. File corrupted. Corrupted? I just watched it. Twice. I refreshed the app. The clip was gone. Just gone. Like it never existed. My hands started shaking, not from fear alone, but from that feeling you get when you know something happened and the world tries to convince you it didn't. I sat down on the couch, still gripping the phone, staring at the screen like I could pull the video back just by wanting it hard enough. But it was gone. The only thing left was the lingering sense that whatever was on my porch that night wasn't done with me yet, and this was only the beginning. You ever hear something so real, so close, so undeniably there, that your body reacts before your brain even catches up? Because the night after that corrupted video disappeared, something happened inside my house. Something I didn't see, but definitely heard. And the worst part? The footsteps didn't match anyone who should have been home. After the video vanished from my phone, I told myself I'd imagined half of it, that maybe the camera glitched, maybe the blur was just a raccoon sprinting past, maybe the hand wasn't a hand, and maybe I was just exhausted. People convince themselves of dumber things just to sleep at night. So that's exactly what I tried to do. Sleep. I turned off the living room lights, checked the locks again, literally touched the deadbolt 3 times like some kind of ritual, then headed down the hallway toward my bedroom. Milo followed me, but he kept stopping to look behind him like he expected something to be standing in the dark. "Dude, chill," I whispered, patting his head. But he didn't relax. The whole house felt wrong. Not haunted wrong. Not dangerous wrong. Just watched. I shut my bedroom door, climbed into bed, and stared at the ceiling. I must have drifted off for a little while because the next thing I remember is Milo whining again. This low, throat-deep sound he makes only when he's scared. I sat up instantly. Milo? He was sitting at the foot of my bed facing the door, ears high, tail stiff. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. Right outside my bedroom door. One step. Pause. Another step. Pause. Not the old house creaking kind. Not pipes. Not wind. Actual weight shifting on wood floors. I froze. Nobody else lives with me. No friends have keys. No family come over unannounced. Especially not at 3:12 a.m., which is what my phone screen said when I checked it with shaking hands. My first thought was, someone broke in, a real person. A burglar. Something normal. But something deep down, something primal, whispered that this wasn't normal. The way the steps landed, it wasn't right. They were too soft and too heavy at the same time, like someone was walking with bare feet but dragging a little weight behind each step. Milo growled, a sound I'd never heard from him before. Not barking, not whining, just a low rumble like he was warning me. "Don't open that door." The footsteps stopped. Silence thickened the air. I held my breath, waiting, not even sure what I wanted to hear. More footsteps? Nothing? A voice? Then something brushed against the bottom of the bedroom door. A soft scrape. Like fingertips dragging across wood. My heart dropped. Nobody I know crawls around my hallway at 3 a.m, dragging their fingers along the floor. I grabbed the nearest thing I could use as a weapon, a heavy flashlight from my nightstand, and slowly slid out of bed. Milo stayed low, his body tense, ready to either pounce or bolt. Another scrape. And this time, a whisper. Faint. Breathy. Right. At the door. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone sounded curious, like someone trying to get my attention. I stepped closer, flashlight tight in my grip. My hand hovered over the doorknob, then I stopped. What if the doorbell thing, whatever that thing outside was, wasn't outside anymore? What if the missing minutes from the footage were because it wasn't on my porch the whole time? What if it got in? My pulse hammered through my chest. I pressed my ear to the door. Silence. No breathing. No movement. Nothing. I lifted my hand to the knob again, and that's when the doorknob jiggled. Not violently, not aggressively. Just a test. A gentle, quiet twist, like something was checking if it could come in. I jumped back. Milo. He barked, loud, sharp, frantic, and the footsteps on the other side scrambled backward, like whatever it was startled. Then, quick, skittering movement down the hallway. Not human, not steady. Fast. Too fast. I swallowed hard, adrenaline crashing through me. I threw the bedroom door open, flashlight up, ready to swing, and the hallway was empty. Completely empty. But the air smelled cold, like the temperature dropped 5 degrees in 5 seconds. And at the far end of the hallway, right by the front door, the porch light flickered on, then OFF, then on again, like something ran past the motion sensor too quickly for it to decide whether to activate or not. I walked slowly down the hallway, Milo glued to my leg. The front door was locked, deadbolt secure, chain latch still in place. But the temperature around it was freezing. Then I noticed something on the floor right below the peephole. Tiny smudges. 4, 5 prints? But not like fingerprints. These were longer, narrower, almost like claw marks, but without the sharp ends. I knelt down, hands shaking as I reached out. The smudges were damp, not wet like water, not sticky like blood. Cold, almost metallic. Milo whined again. I backed away, heart pounding. I checked my camera feed immediately, hoping for any explanation, any face, any shape. But the app just spun and spun before it finally loaded. No new footage, nothing recorded. Not even a motion alert, which made no sense. Something definitely moved. Something definitely walked down my hallway. I refreshed the app. Still nothing. And then, at the top of the screen, for a fraction of a second, the camera feed glitched. A single frame flickered. Black silhouette. Long arms. Head tilted. Standing dead center on my porch. Then, gone. The feed returned to normal as if nothing happened. I stared at the screen, cold sweat dripping down my neck. Whatever was on my porch last night was back, and now it knew I was awake. You ever discover something in your house that makes you realize the story you've been telling yourself? I'm safe. I'm alone. I'm in control. Was a lie the whole time? Because the morning after those footsteps, I found proof that whatever was outside wasn't just watching me. It had already been inside my house long before I ever heard it. Sunlight always makes things feel less scary, that's what people say, right? Well, they're wrong. When I finally fell asleep after pacing half the night, I expected to wake up to nothing but exhaustion and maybe a dog paw in my face. But instead, the moment I opened my eyes, something felt off. The air felt heavier, thicker, like when you walk into a room someone was just in. Only I lived alone. Milo wasn't on the bed. That never happens. He's a Velcro dog. He sticks to me like glue. So the fact that he wasn't beside me was the first red flag. Milo! I called, my voice dry and cracked. Silence. I got up fast, heart kicking up again. I walked into the hallway and almost slipped because there was something on the floor. Not water, not dirt, but a trail. Thin streaks of that same weird metallic-looking residue I saw near the front door the night before. But this time it wasn't just in one spot. It was in a line, like something dragged it along the wall. My breath caught. I crouched down and touched it with the tip of my finger. Cold. Colder than it should have been. Like touching a freezer door. And the streak led toward the living room. I followed it slowly, trying to breathe normally, trying not to freak out, trying not to imagine that pale hand reaching around the corner. The morning light through the windows flickered across the floor, but even daylight didn't make me feel safer. When I stepped into the living room, I froze. The front door was unlocked. I don't just forget to lock it. I checked that lock 3 times. I remembered doing it. I felt the clicks. Now, it hung slightly open, like someone pulled it shut behind them but didn't latch it. And on the floor next to it was Milo. He wasn't hurt, thank God, but he was curled into a tight ball, ears pinned back, eyes wide, staring directly at the corner of the room like something invisible was still standing there. "Milo, hey! Hey! Come here, buddy!" He didn't move. He wouldn't even look at me. Instead, he kept that terrified stare fixed on the empty corner like he was trying not to blink. I swallowed hard, scanned the room for anything out of place, and immediately found something. My couch cushions were moved. Not messy, not thrown around. Just shifted. Like someone sat down, or leaned over the back of it, or pressed their hands into the fabric and studied the room in the dark. And on the middle cushion, pressed deep into the fabric, was an impression. Not a normal one, not round like a hand, not wide like someone sat there, more like something knelt on it or perched on it. I stepped closer, heart racing. The indent was shaped like a knee, but too long, too narrow, and angled strangely, like the joint bent away human joints don't. My stomach twisted. Then I saw the second thing. On the coffee table, my remote control was flipped upside down. I didn't leave it like that. I never leave it like that. It sounds stupid, like a tiny detail, but when you live alone, tiny details matter. I picked it up. There on the underside were 4 streaks of that same metallic residue, as if something picked it up, examined it, then set it back down the wrong way. My vision blurred with panic. Something was in my house. Not outside, not watching from the porch, inside. And not just last night. Maybe it'd been inside before I even knew anything was wrong. I heard Milo whine behind me. When I turned, he was slowly crawling backward toward the hallway, never taking his eyes off that corner. "Okay," I whispered. "We're leaving." I grabbed my keys, shoved my feet into the nearest shoes I could find, scooped Milo up, and practically sprinted out the door. I didn't even bother closing it behind me. We got into my car, locked the doors, and I sat there shaking while Milo curled into my lap. My mind raced. Where would I go? Who would believe me? What would I even say? Hi, my doorbell camera recorded a creature with extra long fingers, and then it broke into my house and watched me sleep? Yeah, sure, normal, but I needed answers. I drove to my friend Tyler's place. He's the tech guy in our group, the one who builds PCs for fun and watches conspiracy videos at 2 a.m. If anyone could pull corrupted footage from a doorbell camera, it was him. When he opened the door, he blinked at me. "Dude, you look like hell." I pushed past him. "You have no idea." I pulled out my phone, opened the doorbell app, and handed it to him. Something was on my porch last night. And then something was inside my house, and it deleted the video. Tyler raised an eyebrow but didn't laugh. Deleted it how? I watched it. Then it vanished. The app called it corrupted. The next night, something walked to my bedroom door. Something that didn't trigger the motion sensor, but showed up anyway. And this morning, I stopped. I couldn't even get the words out without sounding insane. And this morning I found signs it was in the living room. Tyler stared at me for a solid 5 seconds, then said, "Okay, let's not panic yet. Give me your login. I'll check the cloud storage." He grabbed his laptop, logged in, pulled up a terminal window, and started typing way faster than any normal person should. After a minute, he frowned. Dude? What? The video isn't deleted." He turned the screen toward me. "It's gone, like it was never recorded. Not missing, not corrupted, just never existed." "No," I whispered. I watched it twice. Tyler turned the screen back. There's no timestamp, no file, not even a log entry. Something didn't just delete it. Something erased the fact that it ever happened. My blood ran cold. And, he added quietly, that shouldn't be possible. Even if someone hacked it, the logs would still show changes. I stared at him. So, you're saying? I'm saying, he cut in softly, something didn't want you to have that footage. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A new notification. Motion detected at your front door. Tyler and I locked eyes. Then he turned the laptop toward me again. The live feed loaded, and something was standing on my porch. Closer than before. Still, facing the door, head tilted, like it was listening, and then slowly, its head turned, directly toward the camera. Ever have that moment where you realize the thing you thought was stalking your house wasn't actually interested in your house at all? Because when that creature looked straight into my camera, straight into me, I understood something I wasn't ready for. It wasn't watching the door. It wasn't watching the porch. It was watching me the entire time. Tyler froze when the creature's face came into focus on the laptop. I didn't breathe. Milo let out this tiny, terrified whimper that I didn't even know dogs could make. The thing on my porch wasn't moving, but the stillness made it worse. It was standing too close to the camera, like it knew exactly where to look, like it was waiting for me to open the feed. At first it was just a shape, tall, thin, slightly hunched, but the longer we stared, the more details sharpened. Its skin looked pale, but not human pale. More like a washed-out gray with strange shadows moving under the surface, like veins that shouldn't be there. Its arms were long, too long, and its shoulders curved in a way that made no anatomical sense. But the face, God, the face. It had the same unfinished look I saw in the frame glitch earlier, except now I could see more. Its features were blurred, like someone erased half of them and left the rest half-drawn. But the eyes? Those weren't half anything, they were fully there. Black, deep, unblinking, and they were staring directly into the lens, directly into me. Tyler whispered, barely audible, "What? What the hell is that?" "I don't know," I breathed. Then the creature did something that made my entire body lock up. It leaned in closer. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just slowly. Like it wanted to get a better look. A soft crackle of static hit the speakers. The video feed flickered. The camera dimmed. And then the creature smiled. Not wide, not human. Just a small, wrong, twitch-like pull at the corner of its mouth. Tyler slammed the laptop shut. "What are you doing?" I yelled. "Dude, that thing is looking through the camera. Like it knows you're watching. Like it's connected to the feed. I need to see it." "No, you really don't." I grabbed the laptop and flipped it open again. The feed reloaded quickly, too quickly, like the camera was expecting me to come back, but the porch was empty. Nothing there. Just my welcome mat and my railing. No figure. No silhouette. Tyler exhaled. Thank God. But then the motion alert went off again. Motion detected. Backyard. My stomach dropped. Tyler clicked the backyard camera. The feed opened, and both of us flinched at the same time. It was standing near the fence. Not looking at the camera, not trying to hide, just standing there. Facing the house, facing me. "How the hell did it get to the backyard that fast?" Tyler whispered. "It didn't," I said slowly. "It wants us to see it." As if on cue, the creature lifted one long, thin arm and pointed at the house. Then the feed glitched. White noise filled the speakers. The screen turned black, and a distorted whisper, low, broken, like a voice dragged through static, crawled through the audio. "I know. Where you are." Tyler ripped the power cable out of the laptop. Nope, we're done. We're not doing this." That thing is intelligent. It's interacting with the cameras. It should not be able to do that. I was shaking. but not from fear alone, from realization. It's not just near my house, I said. It's been inside. I found stains. I found prints. I found a mark on my couch. It's not new. It's been around longer than I realized. Tyler looked at me like he wasn't sure whether to believe me or call an exorcist. Then Milo suddenly jumped into my lap, trembling violently, staring at Tyler's living room window like something was outside. We both turned slowly. The blinds were down, but a shadow flickered across them, tall and narrow. "Do not," Tyler whispered. "Do not open those blinds." I didn't. My phone buzzed again. A notification popped up. "Front door. Motion detected. Someone is at your door." Tyler grabbed the phone. "You are not checking that." But the preview image loaded anyway. And my blood froze. It wasn't the creature. It wasn't some human stranger. It was a picture of me, not current me. Me sleeping. In my bed. The angle was wrong. Too close. Too high. Like someone, or something, was standing directly over me when it took the photo. Tyler dropped the phone. "Dude, that's from inside your room." "I know. That's from above your bed." I know. My heart pounded so loud I could barely hear. My head spun. I felt sick. Something had been standing over me while I slept, watching me, close enough to take a picture. Tyler swallowed hard. "We're going to the police." What am I supposed to tell them? A pale, long-armed creature took a selfie with me at 3 a.m. He didn't answer. Because he knew I was right. My phone buzzed again. Another notification. But this one wasn't from the cameras. It was a message. No number, no contact, no sender. Just a single line. "Stop running." Tyler looked at me. "Tell me you're messing with me." I shook my head slowly. The phone buzzed again. Another message. "Home," then another, "Now." My hands trembled so hard I almost dropped the phone, because what came next wasn't a message. It was a live video request, from the doorbell camera, from my porch. Something or someone wanted me to answer. Tyler whispered, "Don't. Please don't." But my finger moved anyway. You ever answer a video call and realize the person on the screen looks exactly like you? Same face, same clothes, same room, except it's not a reflection, and it's definitely not you? Because the second I accepted that doorbell video call, the thing staring back at me wasn't the creature. It was something worse. It was me. My stomach flipped when my thumb slid across the screen and accepted the call. I swear I didn't choose to answer. It felt like something tugged my hand forward. Tyler grabbed my wrist like he was trying to stop me, but it was already too late. The screen lit up. At first, it was just static, white noise, a dark shape moving behind the distortion. Tyler leaned in. "Dude, hang up. I can't." I tried tapping the screen. Nothing. The app froze, locked open, like the camera itself didn't want me to leave. Then the static cleared, and I saw myself. But not on the porch. Not outside. No. The me on the screen was sitting on my couch in my living room, wearing the same hoodie I was wearing, except his was torn across the chest like something sharp had dragged across it. Tyler whispered, That's not possible. You're here." "I know," I snapped, voice breaking. The other me, the one on the screen, wasn't moving like a person. He was sitting too still, hands folded too neatly, head tilted slightly, like a puppet waiting for a command. And his eyes. They weren't right. Too dark, too glossy, like there was someone else behind them staring out. I forced myself to speak. "Who are you?" The screen me smiled. Not my smile, not even close. Too slow, too wide. Tyler took a step back. "Bro, that's not you. That's not even human." Then the thing on the screen slowly raised its hand, the same hand I had lifted unconsciously moments earlier. Tyler grabbed my arm. Dude, it's copying you. I dropped my hand immediately. The thing didn't. It kept its hand raised, then bent its fingers backward in a way human fingers don't bend. A full, unnatural twist like its joints were rubber. My breath caught. Tyler gagged. Milo whimpered, then screamed me mouthed something. Silent, slow, deliberate. 3 words. I found you. I stumbled backward. No, 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 no. Then the doorbell camera view shifted violently, like something grabbed the device from outside. The camera tilted, fell sideways, and the feed went black. The call ended itself. My phone dropped from my hands. Tyler caught it midair before it hit the carpet. Dude, he whispered, we need to leave. Not your house. This house. Right now. Why? I asked, though I already knew. Tyler didn't answer. He just pointed at the front door. There was a shadow under it. Not a normal one. Not soft or blurry. Something was standing on the other side of the door. Something tall. Something with long, narrow legs, ending in shapes that were definitely not shoes. Tyler mouthed, "Back door." We crept through the living room, Milo in my arms shaking like a leaf. Every light felt too dim. Every window felt too open. Every floorboard creaked at exactly the wrong moment. Then my phone buzzed again. I jumped so hard I almost dropped Milo. A text. No name, no number. Just behind you. Tyler spun first. Nothing there. He exhaled sharply, shaking. It's messing with us. Yeah, I said, and it wants us scared. Another buzz. Another message. Don't run! Tyler grabbed my shoulder. We're running! We made it to the back door. Tyler turned the lock and froze. There were fingerprints on the glass. Not full fingerprints. Just streaks. Long, thin, gray. Exactly like the ones inside my house. Except these were fresh. I swallowed hard. Ty, it's been here. It's everywhere, he whispered. Then Milo's ears shot up. His head snapped toward the hallway. He growled. A deep, terrified sound I'd never heard from him before. Footsteps echoed from the front of the house. Slow. Heavy. Getting closer. Tyler's eyes widened. It got inside. How did I get inside? I didn't know. I didn't want to know. We backed toward the kitchen as the footsteps grew louder. Not walking, dragging, like its feet didn't fully lift off the ground. Something long scraped across the wall. A fingernail? A claw? Bone? I clutched Milo tighter, almost squeezing him. The footsteps stopped just outside the kitchen doorway. Tyler whispered, "Don't look. Don't look." So naturally, I looked. A hand slid around the doorway. Not a human hand. Too long. Too thin. Knuckles oddly raised. Skin gray and stretched tight. The fingers curled slowly like it was feeling the air or sensing us. I grabbed the nearest thing on the counter, a metal pan, and raised it, but the creature didn't come in. It did something worse. It spoke. A soft, broken whisper. A voice like static crawling under my skin. "Come home," Tyler choked. "No. Nope. I'm done. Aim." He grabbed my arm, yanked me toward the garage door, fumbled with the lock, and threw it open. We ran into the dark garage, slammed the door behind us, bolted to his car, and threw ourselves inside. Tyler locked the doors, started the engine. We backed out as fast as he could without crashing through his own wall. He didn't stop driving for miles. Not until we ended up in a completely different neighborhood, some empty parking lot behind a closed grocery store. Tyler killed the engine. The silence was so loud I could hear my heartbeat. "We can't go back to your house," he finally said. "I know, we can't go back to my house. I know. We can't stay here. I know." But Milo suddenly perked up, staring at the windshield. I followed his gaze. My phone lit up again. A new message. One line, "Nice escape." Another, "See you soon." And then the last one. A picture. Not of my house. Not of Tyler's house. Not of the porch. A picture of exactly where we were now. The empty grocery store parking lot. And in the corner of the image, a shape. Tall. Still. Watching. Standing just outside the glow of the streetlight. Ever have that gut punch moment where you realize that running doesn't help? That hiding doesn't matter? Because after the parking lot picture, it hit me. Whatever was following me, watching me, inside my house, outside my house, there was no safe place left. Tyler and I sat in the car, hearts pounding, Milo pressed against my chest like he knew something terrifying was out there. We couldn't speak, not really. The silence screamed louder than any voice. Every passing car, every distant siren, felt like the sound of it getting closer. Then my phone buzzed again. Nice escape. I swallowed hard. Milo wind. Tyler muttered something under his breath. A curse, a prayer, a desperate hope I didn't catch. I dared to look at the picture attached. And that's when I realized it wasn't just outside the streetlight this time. It was closer. Much closer. The shadow was in the reflection of the car's rearview mirror. Tall, thin, still, and watching. And it wasn't just standing there. Its head tilted toward us, almost, acknowledging us. Tyler slammed his hand on the dashboard. We can't stay here. We have to move. Now. I didn't argue. I didn't even look at my phone. I just started the engine, backed out, and drove. Anywhere. Anywhere that had lights. Anywhere that wasn't alone. We ended up at a 24-hour gas station a few miles away. Bright lights, CCTV everywhere, and at least 2 other cars parked near the pumps. I jumped out, Milo still trembling, and ran inside. Tyler followed, muttering, "This is insane. This isn't happening." Inside, I tried calling my mom, someone, anyone, to tell them what was happening. But every call failed. Every text failed. Even my email wouldn't send. It was like it controlled the network around me. Then Tyler noticed something. The security cameras. Check them. We walked to the small convenience store office, and he pulled up their monitors. Every angle covered. Every entrance. Every blind spot. Except the far end of the lot near the chain link fence. There was a gap. A shadow moved there. Not a normal shadow, not human. Too long, too thin. It moved, against the wind. Like it wasn't bound by normal rules. Tyler leaned closer. "Dude, it's following you. No, not you. It's hunting you." I felt sick. That gut feeling, the one that had been growing all night, it wasn't fear anymore. It was certainty. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't human. It wasn't natural, and it wasn't stopping. Then my phone buzzed again. I didn't want to look, but Tyler grabbed it from me. A single notification. You can't hide. Then another. I'm everywhere. And the third. I see you. I felt Milo stiffen against my chest. Tyler's face was pale. We both froze. The temperature in the gas station seemed to drop suddenly. The fluorescent lights flickered, and a deep, low hum filled the room, not coming from anything electrical. I looked toward the window. At first, nothing. Then I saw it. A shadowy figure, taller than a man, standing at the far end of the parking lot, just outside the lights. It didn't move, didn't blink, but every instinct screamed it was watching us. And then it started walking. Not like a human. Not regular steps. It glided toward us. Smooth, silent, wrong. Tyler whispered, "We need to leave now." I nodded, heart hammering. I grabbed Milo, sprinted to the car, and we both jumped in. Engine roared, tires squealed. The shadow didn't move. It stayed in the same spot, and then, like it vanished into the air, it disappeared. But I knew. I knew it hadn't gone. It was only waiting. We drove in silence for what felt like hours. Every dark alley, every empty street made me feel exposed. Every glint of shadow in the rearview mirror made Milo growl. Tyler finally broke the silence. Do you get it now? It's not just at your house. It's everywhere. If it can manipulate cameras, phones, texts, it's connected to you. Wherever you go, it knows. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The messages had already proven him right. Then my phone buzzed again. Shh. Even with all the cell towers, networks, and GPS in play, the messages came through. One line. I'm inside. Milo yelped and pressed closer. I swallowed hard, and that's when it clicked. It hadn't just been on my porch. It hadn't just been in my house. It had been inside me, watching, learning, waiting. Because no matter where I ran, it already knew where I'd go. And that realization made me feel smaller than I'd ever felt in my life, like a mouse in a cage. Except the cage was everywhere. Ever get that gut-wrenching feeling that something knows you better than you know yourself? Every move you make, every thought you try to hide, every weak spot in your mind. Exposed. That's exactly what hit me when I realized the creature wasn't just following me. It wasn't just watching. It was inside my life. I gripped the steering wheel like my life depended on it, because it did. Milo was trembling beside me, shivering like he could feel the presence before I even saw it. The streets were quiet, but I didn't trust quiet. Never again. Tyler glanced at me, eyes wide. We need to come up with a plan, man. This thing? It's not normal. It's smarter than any human. Smarter than anything I've ever seen. I nodded, heart hammering. Yeah. But what do? Hide? Call someone? Police won't believe us. Nobody will. Tyler groaned and slammed his hand against the dashboard. We're already behind the curve. It's playing chess and we're stuck with checkers. I didn't have time to argue. My phone buzzed again. Milo growled low in his throat, hair standing on end. A single notification. I'm closer than you think. I felt my stomach drop. My grip on the wheel tightened so hard I thought my knuckles might break. Tyler said nothing. He didn't need to. The tone of that message didn't need words. It wasn't just a threat. It was an assertion. A fact. Something was closer. We drove for miles in silence. Every dark corner, every empty lot, every flickering streetlight made me flinch. I kept glancing at the rearview mirror, expecting to see it. And every time I did, there it wasn't. But I knew it was behind us anyway. I didn't know how I knew, I just knew. Finally, we pulled into a 24-hour diner. Neon lights buzzed above us, giving the lot an eerie orange glow. Cars were sparse, and the smell of frying oil mixed with stale coffee filled the air. It should have felt safe. It didn't. We slid into a booth, Milo on my lap, trying to calm him down. Tyler pulled out his laptop again. Look, if it can manipulate cameras, texts, phones, maybe we can fight back digitally. Maybe we can track it. Maybe we can... I cut him off. Maybe we should just leave this country. He laughed bitterly. Yeah, sure, and leave it to win? No, man. We need evidence, proof. We need something to show that it exists. Otherwise, it'll keep doing this forever. I nodded slowly, heart still hammering. Milo whimpered against my chest. That's when my phone buzzed again. I almost didn't check it, but curiosity and fear got the better of me. Another single line. Stop hiding. I'm inside. Milo yelped and flinched. Tyler and I looked at each other. The diner, the lot, the streets. I had left the car windows cracked an inch to let some air in. A shadow flickered across the diner wall. Quick. Almost too quick to catch. Tyler grabbed my arm. Did you see that? I nodded. Yeah. Milo growled, low and guttural, like a warning. We both froze. Then a flicker appeared in the window. Not a reflection. Not a person outside. Just movement. Shadows. Long, unnatural shapes. Too thin, too tall. And then a whisper. Soft. Static-filled. But it came from everywhere at once. I know where you are. Tyler grabbed the laptop again. If it's inside our devices, maybe we can track the source. Maybe we can. The diner lights flickered violently. Milo barked and whined. Every other patron was staring at the ceiling, phones in hand, confused. And then the shadow moved across the ceiling. Not on the wall, not behind a pillar. Across the ceiling. I froze. It didn't make a sound, it just was there. Tyler whispered, Okay, we leave. Now. We bolted from the diner, Milo in my arms again. My car was still in the lot. Engine started, doors locked. We drove, weaving through empty streets, adrenaline keeping me alert. And then my phone buzzed again. Another message. You can't run. Not anywhere. I swallowed hard. Tyler didn't even look at the phone. He just gritted his teeth and drove. Then, as we drove, the neon signs outside flickered. One by one, letters glitched, forming a message only I could see through the reflection on my windshield. I see you. Always. I gripped Milo tighter. His small body trembled. And I realized something that made my stomach turn colder than anything else that night. This thing wasn't just hunting me. It wasn't just inside my house. It wasn't just outside. It was inside my life. Every device, every reflection, every shadow. And it wasn't going to stop. You ever see something on a screen and feel it staring straight into your soul? That moment when the reflection in a TV isn't just showing you, it's watching you, learning every move, every fear, every weakness. And then, without warning, it steps out of the screen and into the room. That's when I realized the nightmare wasn't stuck behind the lens. It could reach me anywhere. Tyler and I were driving blind, adrenaline keeping us hyper-aware of every shadow, every flicker of light, every sound that wasn't right. Milo was pressed tight against me, trembling like he could sense more than we could, and honestly, I believed him. Hours had passed, no clue where we were headed. No safe place, no plan, just driving, running, trying to stay one step ahead of something that seemed to know our every move before we did. Finally, Tyler spotted a flickering neon sign, a 24-hour roadside motel. Cracked paint, buzzing light, one working lamp in the parking lot. Not exactly luxurious, but it was something. Good enough, Tyler muttered. He parked, locked the doors, and we bolted inside. Milo jumped out of my arms but stayed close, every muscle tense. We grabbed the room keys and rushed upstairs. The room was small, cheap, but four walls felt like a fortress compared to the night. Tyler shoved a chair under the doorknob and leaned his backpack against it, a pitiful attempt to block whatever was out there. I collapsed on the bed, Milo curling into my lap, heart hammering. Tyler immediately set up his laptop. I'm going to trace the messages, the feeds, anything. Maybe I can find the source. I didn't have the energy to argue. My eyes drifted toward the motel's TV. It was a dull screen, off at the moment, but then I saw it, a faint flicker, subtle, almost a trick of my tired mind. I rubbed my eyes, blinked. When I looked again, the TV showed the room, our reflection. Tyler typing, me sitting with Milo, the lamp flickering. Everything normal, except something moved behind me in the reflection. A dark shape, hunched, crawling along the floor. My stomach dropped. Milo growled, low, warning. I whispered, Tyler, look. He turned, his face drained of color. What the hell? The shape's head lifted in the reflection. No eyes, no face. Just a smooth, stretched surface like someone painted over it. Static crackled faintly from the TV. The shadow leaned closer in the reflection, pressing against the screen's surface like it could feel it. Tyler yelled, Get away from IT! I stumbled backward, Milo clutched tight. Then the TV started shaking. The hum from the screen grew deeper, vibrating through the floor. The shadow's fingers pressed against the glass from inside, long, thin, unnatural. Milo yipped. Tyler grabbed the lamp from the nightstand, swinging it at the screen. Glass exploded. Shards flew, cutting the cheap carpet, embedding into the bed frame. The shadow, darker than night itself, spilled out. Not solid, not liquid, just wrong. It slithered across the floor, moving impossibly fast, silent and heavy. "Run!" Tyler shouted. I bolted, Milo in my arms. Tyler slammed the chair aside, shutting the door behind us. The hallway lights flickered, one by one, the motel buzzing like it was alive. We reached the parking lot, adrenaline pumping. Tyler unlocked the car. I fumbled for the keys, my hands shaking uncontrollably. Milo whimpered. The shadow didn't pursue directly. It wasn't fast like a human. It just followed, moving in bursts, appearing under the streetlight, vanishing when we looked directly. Tyler shouted, "It can leave the camera now! It's not trapped! It can go anywhere!" I swallowed hard, gripping the wheel. My reflection in the windshield showed a dark flicker behind me, faint but unmistakable. We peeled out of the lot. The motel sign buzzed and flickered, letters glitching in a strange pattern. "I see you. Always." Milo's growl filled the car, deep and primal. My chest tightened. Tyler's hands shook on the wheel. It wasn't just outside anymore. Not just in cameras. Not just watching. It was inside my life, inside my mind, inside every reflection, every shadow, every device. And no matter how far we drove, I knew one thing. It would find us. Ever feel like you're being followed? And then realize it's not outside, it's inside you? Every device, every reflection, every quiet moment, it's there. Watching, learning, waiting. That's when I understood. Running wasn't an option anymore. Tyler and I kept driving, the city lights behind us disappearing into darkness. Milo's small body trembled against my chest, his ears flattened like he could hear the shadows whisper before it reached us. Every road felt too empty, every turn too familiar, like it already knew where we'd go. Tyler broke the silence, voice tight. "We need a plan, not a running plan, a fighting plan." I laughed bitterly. Fighting? Against what? Some creature that can be anywhere, anytime, and knows us better than we know ourselves? He didn't answer. My phone buzzed. Milo growled, hair standing on end. Another single line. "I'm closer than you think." I froze. My grip tightened on the wheel. Tyler didn't even flinch. He already knew. "It's inside our phones," he muttered. "Every device we've used, every camera, every text. It's everywhere, and it's not stupid. It's playing us." I swallowed hard, then another buzz. "I see you." Milo yipped, unnaturally sharp. I looked down, heart racing. Every fiber of my body screamed. Tyler spotted it first. The rearview mirror. A faint flicker, like smoke, moving in the back seat. I spun around. Nothing. But the mirror reflected something. Darker, taller, wrong. I wanted to scream. Tyler grabbed my arm, whispering, "Don't look away, don't freak out." It moved in bursts. Not like a normal shadow, not like a human. It was smooth, flowing, and somehow deliberate. We pulled into a 24-hour gas station. Neon buzzed overhead. Cameras everywhere, cars around, people moving. It should have felt safe. It didn't. Tyler jumped out, laptop in hand, scanning networks, monitoring feeds. If we can find a source, maybe we can see it. Maybe we can trace it. I didn't argue. I didn't trust screens anymore. Milo stayed in my lap, shivering, every muscle tense. Then my phone buzzed again. A single line, inside. I froze. Not outside. Not nearby. Inside. Tyler's eyes widened. It's in your devices. Everyone. Every network. Every camera. Every reflection. It can see us anywhere we are. I swallowed hard. "It's inside me?" "Yes, somehow," he said. His voice was low, shaky. "Not literally, maybe. But it knows your patterns, your habits, your fears. It's like it's learning to be you." Milo yelped. His growl was a warning, primal. Then something moved behind the car lot. Not running, not walking, just gliding across the asphalt. Too tall, too thin. Not human. I looked at Tyler. He didn't move. He didn't blink. We just watched. A faint hum filled the air, low, vibrating, like it resonated inside my skull. My teeth rattled. Tyler whispered, "We can't stay here. Anywhere we go, it'll follow. It doesn't need roads. It doesn't need doors. It's inside everything we touch." The gas station lights flickered. Shadows stretched across the pumps. Dark shapes slithered between the cars, blending in and disappearing when we tried to look directly. My phone buzzed again. Another line. "Stop pretending you're safe." I gripped Milo tighter. Tyler's hand shook on the wheel. He swallowed hard, jaw tight. "We need to leave. Now." I started the engine. Tires squealed on gravel. Before we pulled away, I looked at the rearview mirror. Something stood under the neon sign. Not moving. Waiting. Watching. I swallowed. It doesn't need to chase us. It just knows where we are. Tyler nodded, eyes wide. It's not following. It's inside. It's everywhere we are. And it's patient. I clenched Milo, heart pounding. The neon buzzed and flickered. Letters on the sign twisted, almost glitching. I never leave. I didn't need to read it to understand. It was true. Wherever we went, whatever we did, it was already there, and it wasn't going to stop. Ever reach the point where running, hiding, ignoring, none of it matters? Where whatever's been haunting you, learning you, stalking you, forces you to face it head on. That's exactly where I was, trapped, terrified, and knowing I couldn't escape without confronting the thing that had been inside my life all along. We kept driving into the night, city lights long behind us. Every road felt the same, empty, silent, except for Milo's trembling whines and the low hum that seemed to follow us like a heartbeat. Tyler was gripping the wheel, eyes scanning every shadow, every dark space along the roadside. I stared out the window, heart hammering. Every reflection on the glass made me flinch. Every flicker of light seemed like eyes, staring, analyzing, learning. I realized we weren't just being followed, we were being studied. Every move we made, every pause, every breath, cataloged. Tyler broke the silence. "We can't just run anymore. It's everywhere. It's in our phones, cameras, reflections. We need to lure it, trap it, confront it." "Confront it?" I whispered, voice shaking. "You're insane. We don't even know what it is." "No, I know enough," Tyler said, jaw tight. "It's a shadow of you, a copy, a predator, and it wants us to be scared, to react. But if we can control the setup, maybe we can force it to show itself." I didn't like the idea, but I had no better plan. Running wasn't working. We pulled into an abandoned warehouse on the edge of town. Lights were flickering inside, faint, uneven, perfect for the trap we needed. Tyler set up his laptop, phones, and cameras in a circle. Motion sensors, lights, everything. We baited the devices with our movements, hoping to draw it in. I sat in the center, Milo in my lap, shaking. "And if it kills us?" Tyler shook his head. "Then we at least face it. No more running." Minutes passed. Nothing. Silence. Too quiet. My chest felt like it would explode. Then, a flicker. One of the cameras caught it. The shadow. It wasn't moving like a normal thing. It glided, tall, thin, featureless, yet somehow human. Its hands, impossibly long, reached toward the devices. Its head tilted unnaturally. Tyler whispered, "Stay calm. It's learning us." I clenched Milo tighter. The shadow's presence filled the room. The air itself felt heavy, vibrating. And then it stepped out. Not fully, just an arm first. Long, pale, stretching unnaturally. Then the torso, then the head, faceless, but somehow familiar. It was me, but not me. A twisted, warped version, moving like it had been molded from my fears. It tilted its head and whispered, voice like static but eerily my own. I am you, I know you, you cannot hide. I felt bile rise, terror gripping my throat. Milo growled, nails digging into my arm. Tyler whispered, remember the plan. Don't react. Make it come to us. I nodded, trembling. Slowly, I moved toward the main camera, pretending to be scared. Bait. The shadow mirrored me instantly, mimicking every step, every gesture, every heartbeat. Tyler triggered the lights, the sensors, the cameras. A trap. Noise. Flashes. Movement. The shadow recoiled slightly, confused. I realized it couldn't handle multiple sources at once. It could watch one perspective, one reflection, one device, but not all of them. Now, Tyler shouted. I lunged forward, shoving Milo behind me. Tyler hit the laptops with a surge of power, a short circuit. Sparks flew. The shadow screamed, a sound that was part static, part agony, and recoiled. For the first time, I saw fear in it. It didn't vanish, it didn't attack, but it hesitated. And that hesitation was all we needed. I stepped closer. You don't own me, I said, voice stronger than I expected. You've been learning me. Watching me, waiting, but I'm alive. I choose. I fight. It twisted, shrieked, and for a moment the warehouse lights exploded in static. Then, silence. The cameras were fried, the screens black, and the shadow? Gone. Tyler and I sank to the floor, Milo trembling between us. We didn't know if it had really disappeared or was just hiding, waiting for another weakness. But for the first time, we felt some control. We drove away as dawn broke. The streets were empty. Cold air in the car, fresh light in our eyes. I didn't know if we were safe. I didn't know if it was still following, watching, learning. But we survived, and that was enough. For now.